Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a side of World War II that your history class probably skipped entirely. The money? We all know about the battles, the leaders, and the ideologies. But what about the economic engines that powered the war machines? It's a fascinating story of debt, gold, and financial gambles that literally shaped the world we live in. Let's start with Germany. After World War I, the Treaty of Versailles hit Germany with massive reparation payments, crippling its economy. Hyperinflation was so bad that people were using wheelbarrows of cash just to buy a loaf of bread. This economic despair created the perfect breeding ground for extremist ideas. When Hitler came to power, he launched a massive economic recovery program. He built highways, the famous Autobahn, and invested heavily in rearmament. But how did he pay for it all? Mostly through a clever but unsustainable financial trick, using something called MFO bills. These were essentially government IOUs that hid the true scale of Germany's military spending from the public and the world. It was a giant credit card scheme, and Germany knew the only way to pay it off was through conquest by seizing the resources and gold of other nations. Now, let's look at the Allies. When Britain and France declared war, they faced a huge problem. They needed American weapons, tanks, and planes. But the US had a cash-and-carry policy. This meant countries had to pay up front, in cash, and transport the goods on their own ships. So, Britain started shipping its gold reserves across the Atlantic in secret, highly dangerous missions to pay for supplies. They were literally hemorrhaging gold. By 1940, Britain was on the verge of bankruptcy. Churchill famously told Roosevelt, "The moment is approaching when we shall no longer be able to pay cash." This desperation led to one of the most brilliant financial innovations of the war, the Lend-Lease Act, signed in March 1941. This policy allowed the US to lend or lease war supplies to any nation, deemed vital to the defense of the United States. It was like giving your neighbor a garden hose to put out a fire that's threatening to spread to your own house. This act was a game changer. It effectively turned the United States into the arsenal of democracy, supplying the Allies with billions of dollars worth of equipment without them having to pay cash up front. This not only saved Britain from financial collapse, but also massively ramped up American industrial production, pulling the US out of the Great Depression for good. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union had its own economic strategy. Under Stalin's command economy, the entire nation was mobilized for war production. Factories were literally dismantled and moved east, beyond the reach of the German advance, and reassembled in the Ural Mountains. Workers, including many women and teenagers, worked grueling hours in harsh conditions. Their war effort wasn't financed by complex credit schemes, but by sheer force, central planning, and immense human sacrifice. The scale of this industrial relocation and production was staggering, and played a crucial role on the Eastern Front. So, when we look back at World War II, it's clear it wasn't just a clash of armies. It was a clash of economies. Germany's economy was a house of cards built on conquest. The British economy was saved by American credit. The American economy boomed, becoming the world's dominant superpower, and the Soviet economy was driven by brutal, centralized control. The financial decisions made in Washington, London, and Berlin were just as critical as the military strategies planned on the battlefield. This economic war laid the foundation for the post-war world, leading to the creation of the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the dominance of the US dollar. The world we live in today is a direct consequence of these financial battles. Thanks for watching. If you found this hidden history interesting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories you thought you knew. See you in the next video.